The minimum time frame to consider an upside for me personally is the 4-hour chart. With that said, there are signals firing off right at that 4-hour mark. This does not mean immediate upside, however. It does mean opportunity, though. Let's pop open the charts for an edge over tomorrow's session. Welcome back to the channel on this Thunder Thursday. This is ARCa, and let's dive into ticker symbol PCSA. Let's kill 'em, team. What is up, you guys, and welcome back to the channel. Let's go ahead and dive into ticker symbol PCSA. And what we're observing here is the hourly chart. Okay, so first of all, yes, we have to state the obvious things here first. Linear regression band with this price action here closed beneath that band on top, right? So that typically means that the price action would come down. Next thing to observe here is that it is set on a bearish engulfing candle formation too. And that usually happens, right, when the forward red candle engulfs the prior green one. I honestly like to see this at the top of a trend, right? I mean, it's not saying that it's not at the top of a trend, but it sort of came down, right? So the validity is questionable, but it's still a bearish engulfing. Okay, so the next thing we want to observe here, beyond the fact that we have a bearish engulfing and also closing beneath the mid band here, is the fact that the 5-minute time frame. You can see here that we closed the candle beneath the EMA 200. Okay, so immediate short-term time frame can indicate short-term upside, and that upside could be to validate the resistance of the EMA 200 in combination with the EMA 100. So the space will be 42.84 to about 43.27 before facing some type of a pullback here, and eventually touching down at the range low. So the range low here, there are two targets to consider, right? First of all, the first target would be right at about 41.06, right? So I'm going to go ahead and kind of put it there just so that we're all on the same page. And then the second most obvious target would be to consider right down here at the very bottom of the price action. And that also is a range. Okay, so let's kind of, let's just jot that down here so that we're all connected. So 39 cents, and the bottom line I would say would be more like 39.39. And this could be the area that we could face before a bounce to the upside, right? Just I know that we have a couple things that are looking a little bit like, I mean, I'm not going to ignore them. I just don't think they have the highest of credibility, right? Because I definitely am seeing the potential of an inverse head and shoulders here, right? So, I mean, yeah, we can always speculate with that, right? So, meaning that if the price action fails this here and it comes down to this area, then we would essentially invalidate the inverse head and shoulders. Price action coming down to here. If price action does bounce here from the 41.07, and that gives higher probability for a succession over this formation itself. So let's draw in its neckline, right? So the neckline looks like it's right about here. And the way that you take your price objective for this psychological target would be by drawing a trend line from the neckline to the bottom side of the head, and then you apply it to the top side here, and that would give you a target of about 53.11. So that's already a potential there. Okay, and that 53.11, of course, it's a range because of 1, 2, 3 days ago, that bar high at around 54.57 is technically a resistance as well. Okay, so in order for us to start making an upside continuation here, we would definitely need a candle closure of at least an hourly above the 46.42 mark. And why the 46.42? The 46.42 is prior day's high, right? So that it's not yesterday, but the day prior to that. Actually 2 days ago and 3 days ago, right? So yeah, that would be 2 days ago. That's the high there, and then this this has that high right there. So yeah, I would say closing a candle upside of 46.46. That could introduce a continuation to the upside here, right? So for now we're in this chop here, and we'll see how we're going to do how we're going to react to that, right? First of all, this chop zone here existed, then we chopped around in this area here. Now there's a potential here to chop around this area here as well. Okay, so there are some signals here that could potentially lead price action to the upside, right? So the only reason I said that we could come down into this area here of 3903, even down to the 3782, would be because of the linear regression channel, right? And that's that could be the issue there. Okay, now if we kind of flip the script here and move on to the daily time frame, you'll notice here that the daily time frame does have a bullish engulfing, right? So this bullish engulfing is quite the inverse of the bearish engulfing, where the red candle engulfs the prior green. In this case, the green candle is engulfing the prior red entirely. So the after hours closure did come in at 42 cents. While the daily traditional close came out to 43.45. So 42 cents is what it looks like here on the daily, right down here, right? So if this were to continue to the downside here, then yeah, there could be a touch of even that 39.06, and it'll still be fine. 39.06 is a bit of a range, and it is the invalidation zone there. So I will say, conditionally, right? Like always, right? Like we want to make sure that we can focus on conditions here. So I'm going to get rid of this here and this. And just so we're clear, right, the price action that came down to here, this was no surprise. Okay, just so you remember, we spoke about this already. We had a head and shoulders formation, and the price objective was 34.19. Price action came down to a low of 34.19 was the price objective, and price action came down to 34.50. Yeah, 34.50. So I mean, it was pretty damn close, right? We were talking about this from way up here. All right, I don't like the size of these wicks here, but that does indicate, three black crows formation could give us a little bit of a reversal here, and it looks like we're already kind of facing that, right? So I think it would still be okay for us to come back down to this target here and then continue onwards, because in all reality, what we're doing here is just reclaiming the inside of the channel here, and then getting ready for another potential breakout, and then we'll see how price action reacts from there. So let's take a look at that 4-hour time frame that I spoke of in the introduction here. So the 4-hour time frame, we're gonna observe volatility versus momentum. So this is a complete contraction here, but if we look close enough, there is a kink here on the volatility component, and that is a kink that would be indicating a potential expansion phase. So expansion paired with an upside on stochastic momentum, that's a pretty credible upside, right? And seeing that the 4-hour time frame still has a little bit of downside to go before it can find support at that SMA 14 makes sense with what we're talking about for an immediate short-term time frame distribution before a reaccumulation, right? So it's kind of matching very well with what we spoke of. Now, moving on to the 6-hour time frame, we definitely have an upside pivot here on stochastics. We're entering contraction here. I imagine that the immediate short term, like the 3-hour, already moving outside of critical contraction, and then the 4-hour time frame starting to pivot here for expansion. That could cascade into the 6-hour and then into the 8-hour eventually, right? So that short-term downside could also be looked at here on the 6-hour time frame. So we're actually pulling back here. Sorry, you guys, that's just my little guy making some noise, saying hello to us, right? So this can this can actually pull back just a little bit here, and it would mean that we would actually bounce off of the gravitational zone alongside of the SMA 14 before a continuation to the upside. Okay, so I would personally wait for the pullback here, and then this thing could actually make it looks like it could make actually some a run to a correctional upside, right? So yeah, I think it's pretty there, and it was a temporary correction here based on that thesis of the of the head and shoulders, right? So this was it right here. But remember that the lows are 18 cents. We are making this this new high here. Of course, we're just slightly lower than this over here. It's still fine. So triple top over here, right, before a continuation to the downside here, paired with Head and Shoulders led to this target down here. Now we're recovering from it. So let's see how the price action behaves tomorrow. But to be very honest, it looks like it's already kind of primed for a continuation to the upside here. So 10-cent average true range, that'll tell you something. 43 cents could drop to the area of about 33 cents even, right? So 33 cents would be down here and it would still be fine. But then inversely, if we were to support from the areas that we're talking about, right around 39 cents, this could actually then make it's depending on the opening, right? So if we open at 43.55, that means that this asset can move to the target of where? 53 cents, right? Makes sense. 10-cent average true range, and it's matching very well with our targets here. All right, team. So just to put it out there, team, I am about to launch the last 16-week mentorship program. I'm sorry, I did launch it already, and we have around 12 seats left now. So go ahead and get in touch with me at ARCa Masters Course at gmail.com and get your seat reserved, as I will no longer be teaching this. Okay, team, I definitely need to get into my trading career, and I need to focus on it. And this will be my last 16-week mentorship, right? So this is already done for 3 prior tracks, and the third track is currently they're about to go to week number 6 out of the 16 weeks. Okay, team, and track number 4 is due to start in January, so make sure to reach out to me. I'll pass you the syllabus, the disclaimer, and all that good stuff, and we will get you situated. Okay, team, very much appreciate everybody for coming on by, and if any questions, you know where to reach me. But I think this is a pretty good place to leave off, right? All right. Please take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. Never, 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 never. I need you to do your own due diligence and everything will be cool. But with that said, team, I wish you well, a very, very good rest of your night, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios, team. Yeah.